Good evening, this evening. Stand up for what is right. Listen, I may not tell you what you want to hear or what you want to know, but I will tell you what you should hear and what you should know. When did you realize that it is better, very original, very factual, very pragmatic, very, you know, good and result oriented for you to know what you should know and hear what you should hear, rather than what you want to hear and what you want to know. Now, let us be friendly here so that we can drive a point home. It is better, it is more oriented, it is more result oriented and more pragmatic and more beneficial and more problem solving for you to know what you should know and hear what you should hear rather than what you want to know or what you want to hear. Okay, let's go straight to the point. What exactly did you hear about Major Kaduna Nzeogwu and the January 1966 boys, January 15, 1966 boys, as they are called? What exactly did you hear? There is what is called non sequitur. Non sequitur. Non sequitur is not a big grammar. It simply means details that do not comprise with the conclusion. Details that do not rhyme with the conclusion. It's not as if I was born then. It's not as if I were there. But there is this fact. There is ingredients of fact, based on pragmatism. Okay. And a lot of realities that surrounds, the phenomena that, where you gather the fact, the data, that comprises or comprise with facts. Like superstition. I know why when I want to say something I stress a lot, like superstition. How do you know that the story is superstition? You cannot trace the origin, time, personal names, place, and things like that. You just get story, it happens so time, things like that. You call that superstition. You cannot trace the origin of this fact, who initiated it, who were there, and things like that. Okay, let's go straight to the point. I will show you some little facts and allow you to conclude. The problem we are having today as Nigerians and in Nigeria, serious problems, we are as a result of the fact that our so-called leaders, because we don't have leaders, what we have are rulers. They told us and still telling us what they want us to know, and not what we should know, and not what they should tell us. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I don't want to stress this fact by telling you that your history is prohibited, and why the history is prohibited, why the propaganda, but I just want to tell you exactly what you should know. Then before I go into details, let me tell you in a very brief point. The January 15th, 1966 boys, led by Nzeogwu, were military men. They were fighting to save Nigeria from forceful Islamization and deep, serious corruption. There are good men then in the government, very good men, very, patriotic leaders, like the then Prime Minister, late Alhaji Tafawa Balewa. But somebody was using him. Why did they hate Igbos? No, the Igbo man is a very democratic man, even before democracy. Okay, the Igbo man hates shit. They want things to get better. Okay, and when Igbo man sees, cheating, corruption, intimidation, injustice. He tried as much as possible to fight it, to sacrifice, to save the situation for posterity. So the problem now is, why should an Igbo man debunk that lie or find out that plan and try to go? Why should it be him? Do you understand what I'm trying to say now? Okay, right now, let me tell you exactly what happened. Please see this video to the end. What exactly happened was that January 1966 boys led by Nzeogwu was fighting to stop a forceful Islamization agenda scheduled on 17th January 1966. And as a military intelligence officer, he found out this idea, this plan, investigated it, and now he cordially, group up his men to preempt it. Exactly, this is what happened to save Nigeria. I don't want to tell you about the massacre of the Igbos and things like that, but I just want to tell you in snappy exactly what happened. And regardless whatever happened, that the coup failed, and Aguiyi, who shouldn't have been there, toppled them and took over the government and arrested some of them. The fact and the good of it is that today we are not Islamic countries. If not Islamic country, if not today, we'll be like Sharia. We'll be using Sharia law. We'll be like, name them, Syria, Pakistan, name them. There are many, all these countries. Is that what you wanted? Okay, even if you want it, I think that should be discussed. Why should you be forced? Why? That is not democracy. And what is the intention behind it? Why? That is the question you will ask. Many people will not like this, because I know a lot of people still want that. And it's still playing on, the 12 northern states are already Islamized, even though we are using a secular law. Okay, I don't want to go deep into this, but let me show you some facts. Listen to the voice of Sadwana of Sokoto, a well-respected man. Led Sadwana of Sokoto, Ahmadu Bello himself, in 1957, far before independent, far before 1966. Just listen to that first before I now play the voice or the record of one of the January 1956 boys, January 15, 1966 boys. Okay, listen attentively, brothers and sisters.
Add on top of that the North's general hate of the East, and you can start to get the picture of the sort of tribal tension Nigeria was heading towards. The one thing I've noticed from you when I've been here is that Northerners seem to have I'd almost call it obsession about the Igbos. Could you perhaps explain that to me? Well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities.
Okay, you have heard that now. That was Sadwana of Sokoto, Ahmadu Bello. Now, I would want you to listen to the voice of one of the January 15, 1966 boys, okay, in the name of Let Mwobosi